Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the course. In this part, we are going to generate the geometry of the stator core of the first case study motor. So to visualize the geometrical parameters of the stator core, first, let's generate the geometry in SolidWorks. Okay, so we can use it for a better visualization. So here I generate a sketch and let's draw a circle first and another one. The center of these circles are actually the origin of this plane. So let's set the outer stator diameter equal to 75 and inner stator diameter equal to 55. Okay, so equal to 50. Let me reduce it. This is just for visualization, right? So we need to size the stator core and do the design to find the right numbers. So let's close the sketch and extrude this sketch. So I need to select this sketch first and extrude it to make a solid object. So extrusion length equal to 60 millimeters, right? This solid object. And now I can generate the geometry of the slots. So I can select this plane again or select this surface and right click to generate a new sketch on this surface. Okay, so this is my new sketch, and here let's generate the geometry of the slot. So here I select the center line, this guideline only, and from origin to here I draw this line. Here this point coincides on the inner stator surface. So draw another center line here, and this center line is co-aligned with this one, right? So these are collinear, and these two place on x-axis of the global reference frame. Okay, the global coordinate system. So now I can draw this arc. So let me select the arc. So the first point is the center point of the arc. So select the origin and I can draw this arc. I want to place the center point of the arc on this point. So I select these 2 points and select the coincident. Okay, so I have this arc that is actually the bottom of the slot. Then I can plot this line. Okay, this line, and finally this line, and this one. So arbitrary line. We know that this point and this point and these center lines, if we select them, we can apply the symmetric constraint, right? Also, this point, this center line, and this point, we can apply the symmetric relation. Yes. Okay. Because I want to apply another dimension, let me trim this quantity, or I can delete these two lines and draw new lines. I will explain the reason. So here I place the point here and draw this line. This one and this one are collinear. Excuse me. This is not horizontal one, so I should delete this constraint. This one and this one are collinear. So again, I can plot two new lines. This one and this one. Again, select these two lines, apply collinear constraint. Now we can, right, we have this symmetry condition. Okay, so this is the geometry of the slot, the stator slot, because I am going to consider a stator tooth with a constant width in radial direction. I need to add another constraint to this geometry. So here I select this center line and consider this here. The angle of this center line with respect to this center line is half of the stator slot pitch angle. So let me consider this angle equal to, in this case, I am going to consider NS, the number of stator slots, equal to 24. So the alpha S, the stator slot pitch angle, is equal to 360 degrees divided by 24. This is the half of the stator slot pitch angle. So 360 divided by 24 divided by 2. I can write 180 divided by 24. So we know that this line is parallel with this line. So the parallel condition, and now I can consider a thickness for this parameter, that is the width of the stator tooth, that is constant in this direction. So let me consider this number 3, and we can define this geometrical parameter. This is the stator slot opening equal to 2. Also, we have this dimension. This is depth of the stator slot, right? Equal to 10. Finally, we have this parameter. If I consider this center line here and make this center line with this line perpendicular, we can set this parameter, that is the two-step angle. Let me set this parameter. So, here also we have this parameter. Let me define it. Delete this angle. Why I cannot set this angle? Let me check. Sometimes we have, these unwanted relations that are added by the software. So I don't need this perpendicular condition between these two segments, right? So now I can move this edge and also this point. I can move this point and this point. Okay, so now I can set this angle, that is the two-step angle, equal to 20, for example. And the length of this segment is the HS0. Let's start opening height. So let me consider 0.8, and we specified the geometry of the stator slot. So we can use fillets also for this slot. Let's consider this geometry now, and extruded cut through all, right? To have cut all this slot. So now let's generate a reference axis. I select this plane and this plane, the right plane and top plane, generate a reference axis. So this is the reference axis. Now I can use it to copy this pattern, circular pattern, the direction. I need to select this reference axis, and this feature I need to select cut extrude. Total number is 24. Yes. So this is the geometry of the stator core, and dimensions. If you need to consider fillets before copying this pattern, you can consider, for example, 2 fillets here. Select these 2 edges, apply fillet, for example 3 millimeter, 1. And when you rotate this feature, you need to select the fillet also. Okay, so anyway, this is the geometry of the stator core of the first case study motor. How we can generate this geometry in MATLAB using the object-oriented programming. So let me generate a new folder. This is the surface PMSMs. And I set the current folder of MATLAB to this folder, surface PMSMs. Okay. So during the course that I write M files, I will upload the related files to course content folder, so you can download them and develop the code step by step. Here I have some templates. I don't want to repeat the code that we developed also for radial flux synchronous reluctance motors, right? We can use those codes and save the time. So you have to watch those videos first. So let me copy this part of the code, the object-oriented programming that we discuss in this course also. So generate a new script, class def, the first class that is an object for design of this motor, the inner rotor, surface PM SM. So surface PM SM 1. I select this name. This is a handle class, as you know, and close the class definition. So here, let's copy this properties block and paste it here. So let's review the parameters that we have. We have material properties, the core material, the winding material, and the magnet material. Consider that these names should be exactly the same as the names that we have in ANSYS Maxwell software, right? Otherwise, we get error. We need to generate the ANSYS Maxwell model directly from MATLAB. This is the mass density of the core, the winding and magnet. Also, we have the conductivity of the winding material at 20 centigrade. This is the temperature coefficient for stator winding resistance, the iron insulation factor. So we have the ambient temperature, temperature rise, the rounding flag is explained in synchronous reluctance motors design course, and here we have the ratings of the first case study motor. The rated output power is 0.6 kilowatt. DC voltage, the voltage of the DC link of the inverter is 240. We need to consider a voltage drop for inverter elements. The base RPM is 4,500 RPM. The desired efficiency, 92. And also we have a parameter desired power factor. We can adjust this parameter and make it as high as possible. So in this case study motor, I am going to consider 4 poles and 24 slots for initial design. This is just the start of the design, and when we develop the model, we can investigate other combinations also. Here we have this parameter, the air gap length. So I set it equal to 0.8. So this is the air gap length. I modify some more parameters because those parameters are for other models. And we have these sizing parameters. We modify these parameters later. Here are the parameters related to the stator core. So the inner stator diameter is 50, 55, I think we said 50 here. and the outer stator diameter is 75. This is the width of the stator tooth, is this parameter. The width of the stator tooth, that is 3 here. So let me set it equal to 3. These are default numbers, we didn't start the design yet. So this is the stator tooth tip angle. I considered it equal to 20. This one, the stator tooth tip angle. This angle. The next one is BS0, the stator start opening, that is 2, is this parameter. 2. HS0 is the stator start opening height. This parameter is equal to 0.8 in this case. The depth of the stator slot, this parameter, is 10. Okay, this is the depth of the stator slot. The stack length is 60, and we have these parameters that need to be calculated later. The stator lamination area, the weight of the stator slot area, and coil arm area. Okay, we can consider a single layer winding or a double layer winding. Here we have two arrays to store x and y coordinates of vertices of the stator slot. So let's save, and now I can develop the methods that I need. So as you know, the first method that we need to consider, let me copy this code and paste it here. Just save, because the MATLAB editor is better. So here I need to copy these get methods. We have these get methods for the analytic design. Also, we have few get methods that are for generation of the geometry. So also let me copy these dependent properties in this model. So here I can paste this methods block. We have the stator slot pitch angle, the pole pitch angle, the stator slot opening angle. So this is the stator slot opening angle. We don't have this parameter. And this one. Okay, so we have the T out, RPS, and so on. So in the methods block, I can copy this one. We discussed set methods and get methods in the synchronous reluctance motor design course. So let me copy these get methods and paste them in this model. So, I don't have these two parameters, so I delete the related functions and this function also. Yes, This is the advantage of the object-oriented programming. When you develop the code for a specific model, you can modify it, extend it, and use it for other models also. So let's check these functions. This is for setting the number of stator slots. As you know, the ns should be a multiplier of 3. The connection, that is star or delta. The base RPS is RPM divided by 60. Base omega m, the supply frequency, the rated output torque, right? Input power, input reactive power, input volt ampere, and this is the phase voltage. This is the terminal voltage considering the space vector PWM, SVPWM switching, and other parameters that we have. You can review these functions. So this is the tau pole, the pole pitch. This is the stator slot pitch angle, pole pitch angle, the gamma slot opening, the stator slot opening. What is this angle? This is the angle between these two lines, these two lines. So if I take a screenshot, the gamma slot opening is this angle, this one. So this is the gamma slot opening. That is 2 times sine inverse of BS0 divided by ISD. So we need to have this parameter also to generate the geometry of the stator core. This is the width of the stator uke. Yes. And we have these parameters that we discuss later. So now let's copy these functions. We have these functions to update and plot the model. So I copy these functions and paste them here. Okay. So we have a plot sketch function here. Update stator model, update rotor model, and update model. Because I don't want to consider these two methods now, so make them comment. And let's focus on update stator model. So to generate the stator geometry, we need to calculate the x and y coordinates of the corner points of the stator slot. So let me delete this fillet now and take the screenshot. Okay, so we have these points. This is the point number 1, point number 2, 3, and 4. So these are important points that we need to calculate the x and y coordinates of them to generate the geometry of the stator slot. The x and y coordinates of the first point, is the ISD divided by 2 times cosine of the gamma slot opening divided by 2, right? So actually this x and the y coordinate is the ISD divided by 2 times sine of gamma slot opening divided by 2. So when we calculate x and y coordinates of the first point, we can construct this unit vector to calculate x and y coordinates of the second point. If we know the unit vector, this unit vector, this is u, we can move in this direction and calculate the x and y coordinates of the point number 2. So this is the direction of the unit vector, right? The vector that indicates the direction of this segment. We know that it is equal to x1, y1. This is a 1 by 2 row vector. We need to divide it by its norm, its amplitude, to make it a unit vector. Then we can calculate x2 and y2, the x and y coordinates of the second point. So, how we can calculate the coordinates of the third point, this one? We have the components of the unit vector u. We can rotate this unit vector using rotate points function. I have this function here. Let me copy and paste all of these functions that we need also here. So we rotate this unit vector, to have a vector in this direction. Okay, so then we have also, the u2. What is the u2? How much we should rotate the unit vector 1. So let me zoom here and take another screenshot. Okay. So you know that this is the u, and I need to calculate the unit vector of this segment, right? So this is u star, for example, this one. So yes, this is better. How much we should rotate the u vector to have u star? We can calculate it considering the stator two-step angle. So the amount of rotation is pi divided by 2 minus the stator two-step angle. So because this is in degrees, we need to multiply it by pi divided by 180. So this is when we rotate u equal to 90 degrees counterclockwise, then we should rotate it equal to two-step angle clockwise to have this unit vector. So if we know the unit vector of this segment also, let's call it u2. Here is the u2. The unit vector of this segment is cosine of alpha s divided by 2 and sine of alpha s divided by 2. Why? Because this edge is parallel with this center line, right? And this is the alpha s divided by 2. The unit vector of this center line is cosine of alpha s divided by 2 and sine of alpha s divided by 2. So we can calculate the unit vector of that line. And finally, we can use the get line intersection function to calculate intersection of this line and this line to find this point number 3, the coordinates x3 and y3. The inputs of this function are these parameters. First, we need to have a point, right, of the corresponding line, and then the unit vector, a point of the second line, and the unit vector also, you know. So here I have this point x2, y2, and I have this unit vector. So we can specify this line. How we can specify the equation of this line? We have its direction, its unit vector, and a point that belongs to this line is this one, 0 and negative of WST times 0.5 divided by cosine of alpha S divided by 2. So why this point? Let me visualize it here. You know, if I take a screenshot, you know that this is the x axis, this is y, and if I, extend this line, I can calculate the coordinate of this point. Its x coordinate is 0, its y coordinate is equal to, we have the width of stator tooth, this parameter. So we know this angle, right? The half of the stator slot pitch angle. So we can calculate this length that is actually equal to this length, right? This is the alpha S divided by 2, and we can calculate the y coordinate of this point that is actually this one. So this one. So we know a point of line and its unit vector. We can find the intersection x3 and y3. Finally, we can calculate the x and y coordinates of the point number 4. This is the point number 4. Let me find the corresponding image. This is the point number 3 is this one. This is the point number 4. The point number 4, this is the depth of a stator slot and ISD divided by 2, right? Excuse me. This is the point number 4. This is the point number 5, we can call it. So we are looking for the point number 4. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So how we can calculate the point number 4? We can calculate it using this method. We can calculate this angle and finally rotate these points to calculate the corresponding point, that is the point number 4. We know this angle let me delete this fillet. Excuse me. When we need to delete the fillet. Also can delete it from here without getting geometrical errors. So, we can calculate this angle, the angle of the stator tooth here at its bottom. So here, the stator tooth root. This angle is equal to 2 times A sine of WST divided by IST plus 2 times depth of stator stat. So we have this angle and we have alpha S divided by 2. If we rotate the point number 5, I call it, equal to this angle, we can calculate the point number 4. We know the coordinates of this point. The y5 is 0 and the x5 is ISD divided by 2 plus depth of stator slot. So if we rotate this point equal to this angle, that is alpha S divided by 2 minus this angle, this temporary angle, TMP, divided by 2, we can calculate the coordinates of the point number 4. So this is the temporary angle, and we rotate this point. This is the x, and the y is 0, equal to this angle. If we rotate this point equal to alpha s divided by 2 minus TMP angle divided by 2, we can find x4 and y4. And finally, we can store the coordinates of these 4 important points to generate the geometry of the stator lamination later. Here we calculate the stator slot area to calculate the stator lamination and weight. So because the time of this video, right, is high, so let's pause here. You can repeat the same procedure and write the code to calculate the coordinates of these points, and let's continue in the next video. Thanks for watching.